name's Cody. I'm gonna teach you how to cook a good steak, a restaurant style steak, restaurant standard steak at that. And honestly, it only takes about 15-20 minutes if you have everything prepared. So let's get to it. Looking at the steak right now, it has a bunch of moisture on it, so we're just gonna grab a paper towel, pat it down real nice um, on both sides. Just gently patting it, you can see that a bunch of the moisture on the outside comes off. Uh, it could be water or something else. You just want to take that off. Right now, we're going to look at the marbling of the steak, which is the white fat that's within the muscle fibers of the red meat. And it just makes the steak become more flavorful, if I'm being honest with you. Right now, we're looking at the fat cap, which is not too big and easy to render down once we cook it. The eye is what we're going to focus on today for plating. Just looking at the steak, we have the flank, which is the side, the eye, and then we have a fat tip right at the top, which is just fat. Once you cook it, most people just cut it off. It's an inch thick, which is needed for well prepared cooking. So it's a great steak. Right now, we're just gonna season it with salt. We just want to keep it there for an hour. We want the steak to be at room temperature just for cooking. It just makes it easier and less time for cooking. Once your pan is raging hot, you want to render off the fat cap. Um, this shouldn't take too long. You just want it crispy. You don't want to eat that much fat. That could just stand still by its own, and I'm going to show you once it is rendered off. Don't worry about the smoke. The smoke is fine. That's actually what you want. You want to use a high smoke point oil. Here's the fat cap. Once it's rendered, you want to face it away from you and take it down. Right now, you just want to leave it by itself for a couple, 2 minutes. Once that's done, you're going to flip it over and you have a crust for the steak. Um, it's a good crust. Right now, you just want to do the same and leave it for 2 minutes just for the other side to get a crust itself. After that, you're just going to add some butter to it, garlic, fresh garlic preferably, and we're going to add some rosemary and thyme. This is part of the cooking process. It's called butter basting. This uh, this allows you to grab a spoon, tilt the pan, and just add butter to the top of the steak, just like I'm about to do right now, just like that. The butter is going to start foaming, which is what you want. It means the butter isn't burnt. You want to get the garlic and the herbs off. Right now, you're just wanting to base it, get all the butter within the steak, cooking it even more. And you want to do this for another 2 minutes on both sides. Once that's done, we're going to keep it on a wood cutting board. We're going to put all the herbs, the garlic, and a little bit of the butter on top of the steak. Once that's done, your steak should be ready to be cut. You're going to take off the herbs and the garlic. We're going to actually hear the crust real quick. We're going to take off the eye. We're going to take off that fat tip I told you about. We're going to take off the eye, which should be extremely easy. It's just held up by a bit of fat. Once you have the eye, we're going to cut into it. It should be a perfect medium, which it is. You can't see it right now, but I can see it. It is a perfect medium. There you go. That is a medium, not a medium rare. But once this is done and cut, we're going to go onto the plating. Once that's all done, we're going to grab the steak. We're going to lay it right next to where I put the pillow. We're just going to add and separate the steak real quick. You want to make sure the pink is showing. We're just going to add some little toppings, some green onions, and I'm also going to be adding the time that I used while basing. Overall, this was an easy steak to make. Here's some end pictures of the plate. Thank you for watching, and I hope you make this sometime.